Okay, I thought I would talk a little bit about the inspiration for this piece. One of the things that I feel is really important as an artist is to follow the energy of what feels good to you, and to trust that things that delight and things that you love are what makes you special. So my sister had asked me to paint a spirit animal that she'd been working with recently, and it was a cheetah. And before she had asked me this, I had been thinking in I'd been thinking about flowers and animals and somehow combining the two. I mean, there are lots of people that do that, but really wanting to find my own way to do that. So when she asked me to paint the cheetah, I was super excited. So this is how the cheetah came out. And so before I move on to the next painting, I always like to look at my current painting and determine what I liked or didn't like about this painting. And it's funny, I haven't really looked at this painting in a while, and I like it much better, even more than before, but I digress. Anyway, some of the things I really loved about this painting is I always start with sort of a mixed media background. So the very background part of this was just a light application of acrylics. I'm not thinking when I do the backgrounds, I'm just playing. I used a little bit of alcohol inks, which I learned from the Milan Institute YouTube videos, so they're fun to watch if you can give them a go. But basically, I learned that if you have wet acrylic or wet paint, or even spray a little bit of water on it, and then drop these little acrylic, and these aren't acrylic, these are alcohol inks. So if you just drop alcohol ink straight onto a canvas or a board, it's gonna just be sucked up right away and nothing really exciting happens. But when you drop it onto wet paint, you get these cool little like organic-y type blotches, which I really loved. So that's one of the things I really like about this painting, is sort of like these organic drips and splotches from the acrylic alcohol ink. I also love the flowers and the vibrant color. It's just my thing. I love color. I love how I did this stencil in the background and then stained and touched up different portions of the brick. I was inspired to put this stenciled word power down. And I really like how that works with the whole overall painting. I'm pretty happy with the cheetah itself. It's really the first time I've ever painted a cheetah in fur. Oh, I can't remember the name of the YouTube video that kind of gave me some tips on fur painting, but I'll try to include it in the notes on this. But anyway, I watched a couple of those to kind of get the lay of the land. In some ways, I feel like his face may be a little too furry, but overall, I'm really happy with how he came out. So anyway, this is the inspiration for where I want to go with the next painting. And one of the things that was exciting about this is that I had been working on sort of a mixed media botanical series as I was experimenting with oils. But when my sister asked me to paint this painting, for me it was an opportunity to play with that idea that had been swimming around in my brain about flowers and animals. Well, when I started working on this, it was a Wednesday, and I continued working on it a little bit every day after work, and then Saturday, and then Sunday. And I finished it on Sunday. Now, I typically don't work straight through on a painting. I work on many paintings at once, but I just had so much fun working on every aspect of this. It was just a complete joy, and that's what we want to find as an artist. The subject matter that excites us, the type of painting and the process that excites us, and to follow those inclinations. I could have turned that inclination away because I was focused on this little botanical series, and could have said, oh, not till I do that. But I became aware of my energy and how excited it was to work on this, and how I was feeling as I was painting it. And all I knew is I wanted more of that. So anyway, that's the inspiration behind this one that I'm working on. This is the inspiration. Now, I pulled this fox, which I found from unsplash.com. I pulled him in from that. And then I just kind of Googled different flower bouquets to get some ideas. I pulled in portions of the flower bouquets. I did all of this in the app Procreate. And then I also just did some sort of painterly effects from Procreate in here, just kind of creating the feeling that I wanted. I want some open areas, just like in this, there was some little bits of open areas, kind of wanting to do a similar thing here. Bring in more of the purples with sort of mixed media background. I like this little grid. So luckily on this one, I was able, I don't know if you can see it very well, but I was able to find some grid paper that I had, and then I had done a little sort of jelly plate printing on top of it, and I liked how it came out. So I included a few bits of that, which mirrors this effect in here. And then in order to create some of this just mixed media effect here, I decided to play around with some collage. So this is actually a stencil on tissue paper. Pulled that in. These are little bits of collage. This is collage that was done with a little bit of bubble wrap. I love working with tissue paper because you can see the transparency underneath. Again, this was the background that was painted a little bit of teal, and then when the paint was wet or I sprayed it with water, I dropped some green alcohol inks on it, little bits of purple here. Again, just kind of working loosely towards this idea that I have here. So that is the inspiration behind this painting that I'm working on. Yesterday, I worked on the flowers, and if you want to see that video, you can go to my YouTube channel. I did a time lapse of that, so you could check it out. Today, I think I'm gonna play around with some flowers. I did a little bit of research. Actually, I just went to Michael's and I took some photos of some various flowers, silk or plastic flowers there, just to kind of get an idea. Now, what I'm aware of is I have a very round shape here. I don't want to do more round, big flowers, so I want something shaped a little differently. So this just kind of gave me some ideas of something that I might work with. So that's where I'm kind of heading today. And yeah, I hope you enjoy following along.